Alright, so basically, why don't we just, I'll have you summarize what it is that you just shared with me about the problem, or what you feel like the overall problem is. What's your summary of that?
Yeah, so currently I've been feeling that I've been controlled by him, and especially I'm not going to work, which is depriving me of my independence, okay? And I have to stay at home, look after the kids, and I have no freedom to do what I really want to.
Okay.
So when I feel out of the loop, I don't think I'm involved in what's happening in the family, and I can't really do what I want to.
Okay. So if I'm understanding you correctly, you feel like so he was kind of controlling you, or like you have no say in what it is that you do. You had your two kids, and now you are stuck at home. I don't want to say stuck at home, but you're stuck at home or forced to be stuck at home instead of getting another job. But now you are raising your kids at home. So when you guys are there together, what happens?
So I try telling him about this. He doesn't understand. Then he would just react to get into arguments. And so I don't feel he's being really supportive and understanding it from my perspective.
Okay.
And he's being really controlling about everything. Like, he has a say in everything.
So, and the biggest thing that he's being controlling about, though, is your career decision, basically, of how you're being forced to stay in the home, and he's not. So do you feel like, I know we've talked a little bit about your depression before previously, do you feel like that contributes to it at all, or maybe the unhappiness of the situation where you are stuck at home is contributing to your depression more? Do you feel like there's a correlation there?
Yeah, I think there may be. I don't know, because I get really moody and
irritable.
Yeah, I do get irritable here because of that. So that may be reasons why I'm reacting to that. Yes. Yeah.
It definitely could be a reason for that. You mentioned that you've tried to express to Sahib what it is that you want, and that's what starts the arguments.
Yes.
Okay. So what are your assumptions on why you think that he's doing this? Why do you think he's gaining all the power, not letting you make decisions?
See, I think it's because he doesn't want to lose the financial control. Because as soon as I start working, I would not depend on him anymore. And I would be free to take my own decisions. But right now, he holds that power because he's the only sole breadwinner of the house. So I think he doesn't want to lose that control. So that's what I feel.
So previously, before you had kids, right after you got married, you had a really good job, correct?
Yeah.
You were working your way up the ladder in a really great agency, and you had power, right?
Yeah.
And you could make decisions over your life.
Yeah.
So
I think he's threatened by that. I don't know.
Right, but you had also mentioned before that the reason that you felt Sahib was such a great fit for you was because he didn't feel threatened by it before, but now that you have kids, you feel like he's even more threatened.
Yeah,
maybe his perspective has changed,
Yeah.
or maybe he's using it as a way to, as an excuse of, oh, now I can be the breadwinner, because he wants you to stay home and be with the kids.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so one of the things I like to try to do with some of my clients is to try to think of things from a different perspective. I think it's always healthy to, instead of just be down one path and one way of thinking, to try to look at something from a more positive point of view. I'm not saying that this is negative, and you're perfectly valid to feel the way that you're feeling, but have you thought that maybe the reason that Sahib is being controlling is that he really just cares for you? So going through 2 pregnancies is not easy, especially just within 2 years. It's a lot of work on the body. Maybe he is, well, from what it sounds like, when you guys first fell in love and got married, he cared a lot about you and understood who you were as a person.
Yeah.
He wanted to make sure that your needs were met. So maybe he is just assuming that you need this time as a restoration or rehabilitation from these pregnancies, or to be able to spend time with your kids and raise them up. So I think that's not saying that that's right, but I'm saying maybe that's what he's assuming. But then we also have to consider that that is his fault for assuming instead of asking or listening to your pleas for wanting something else. But could you possibly look at it from that perspective at all?
I think I could try, because maybe he's not intending it in a negative way. Maybe I'm reading too much into things. maybe I'm letting my moods, I don't know, get in the way. I think I should try looking at it from
Sure.
his perspective. Yes.
Yeah, I definitely think that it would be helpful to just kind of look at it. Maybe he really just wants to provide for the family and wants to make sure that his kids are growing up. Which, I mean, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. I think it's also one thing that we'll have to address with him, and we can address this in a future session, or if you want, I can talk with him specifically when I have my one-on-one with him, is about how depression is really a factor in this. And I know, are you open with him about your clinical depression?
Yeah, he knows what I'm going through. He knows I'm under medication as well. So, yeah, I am.
Okay, so I think maybe it would be best if we had the conversation together. So you kind of had someone intermediating the conversation about how maybe depression is playing a factor in this. So we can plan that for next session, because I want to make sure that he is also meeting your needs when it comes to that, because of, the circumstances are contributing to your depression. I don't want that. I don't want it to make it worse for you. I want to, we have to look at where the problem is and start to fix it. And I know you've mentioned before about the different ways that you've tried to fix it before. So what would you say is the overall problem? Like if I asked you what is the main problem, what is it that you would respond?
Particularly after this session, you're asking me, or like in a general sense?
In a general sense.
I think there's a lack of communication and not being able to understand each other's perspective. I guess we're just both reacting from our own experiences, not willing to look at it from, what the other person's going through. And I guess now that my depression also could, have a major role to it.
Right.
So I think it's a combination of all these factors.
Yeah, I think that's important to look at. So when we look at the family system, we typically look at the parents on top and then the kids. So in that, the parents should be equally making decisions together. Can be. It depends on the type of family, culture, things like that. And maybe your Japanese roots play a little role in this as well. But if you look at the parents on top, you and Sahib, maybe there's a lack of control on your side, but he has more control, so maybe that's contributing to some of the imbalance of communication. So that's something that we can also look into together of how to make that equal between you two, because I think that would also be a great example for your kids. So I guess as we're concluding, what I would like to do is, this is going to sound really crazy to you, but I just want you to bear with me for a minute here. I think I want you to practice the problem. So practice miscommunication.
Okay.
I know this sounds absolutely crazy, but just hear me out for a second. The more you practice it, the more that you experience it, you'll
be more self-aware?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. You'll be more self-aware, you'll be able to control it a little more. And maybe it'll show you how exactly it is that you need to change, or what you need to do to go about changing it. So, you said that you normally fight with Sahib when he gets home from work?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to prescribe to you for the next week, you and Sahib are going to fight at least once when he gets home from work. And if you feel you're in danger at all, do you ever feel in danger?
No.
Okay.
It hasn't reached that level.
Okay, good. Yeah. We don't want it to reach that level. So I think that this will give you some good practice on it. Let him be control and let him do what he wants, and then you be you. Just, I know it sounds weird that you're not changing anything, but pay attention to the details of why things are the way they are. Pay attention to why you're feeling triggered to be upset, why you're feeling triggered to be depressed, and then pay attention to what it is that you're saying that's making him overreact as well. So I'll talk with him about this also, because I think I had my one-on-one with him right after you. So I'll share this information with him. We'll come back together once he's finished. And we'll just make sure that we're all comfortable with this assignment. Do you have any other questions? Or?
I think I'm good. Yeah.
No? Okay, great. Well, I will see you next week, Miko, okay?
Sure. Thank you.
No problem.